Let's get this party started. So, we have the Boss RC-505 here, which I've been kind of messing around with. I don't fully understand it yet. I don't think I ever will. There's like chasms you can go down in this thing, like roads. Roads are left best untraveled with this thing sometimes. I'll get to that in a bit. And then the Roli Rise25 controller, which I'm charging, but I'm using via USB to my iPhone. And the iPhone has an output that's going into the RC-505. That 505 is using a USB output into the input of my MacBook Pro. And that's how all this audio is happening. My microphone's connected to the RC-505 too. So it's going to be fun to juggle talking and recording samples when I start messing around with this. Yeah. So I don't know. I figured I'd put this together. My friend Gregg actually wanted me to review this because he's thinking about getting one for his live performances locally. So hang on, I gotta drink my coffee. And as you can see clearly in the background, we have the best audience members ever. We have, where are you? Conan in the chair. Of course, we have Toby on the couch. Basically the best audience a man can ask for. All right, so the typical setup with this, you can set this up with the iPad, a newer one. I have an older one, so it doesn't run on it. But the Noise app is great. They charge for sound packs. It gets very expensive very quickly. What people do with the Rise controllers, at least, is at least the people that I know that use these in live performances, especially the 49 key with, they can use both hands. But what they do typically is they'll set up a MacBook Pro. They'll use Main Stage, which uses Logic behind the scenes, obviously, and then they'll have that back feed into the PA. Not back feed, but it'll feed into the PA for, the performance and stuff. But for the sake of only using one laptop and not using multiple devices to record and then trying to stitch together everything or whatever, I'm just using the iPhone app, which already natively supports the 5D touch of this controller, which I'll get to in a second. So RC-505, I just picked this up. I wasn't able to get that out of steel, but I was able to get this sucker here out of steel, the Roli Rise. The RC-505 I bought new. They're very hard to find used, and the places that I've only seen them used is on eBay from pawn shops. And if somebody realizes what they have when they sell these things, they're very close to MSRP, which is around $500. So, and even on eBay, sometimes it's kind of a crapshoot because you're trying to figure out. All right, so it's $350. Let's just say. I hope I have the power cable because it's a very custom power cable. I hope. I guess that's basically it. I hope I have the power cable, and I hope the device isn't trashed. So rather than kind of take a chance with $350 and then not necessarily gamble with it because it was from a reputable seller, I just decided to buy it new anyway. So I get the full warranty and blah, blah, blah. Save all the boxes, of course, with the documentation. So the RC-505, great device so far. Lots to learn with this. There's a lot of stuff you can do with this thing. This is my first loop controller. I've never had one of these before. Yeah. I guess I'll just kind of fiddle with it and go from there. The Roli Rise, MSRP's for $800. Definitely didn't spend that. I found this on eBay from a pawn shop in New York City, and they had it listed for, I think it was around $280. Whoever boxed it up, and it was only the controller, so I was taking a really big guess that this thing worked, and it wasn't stolen. Right, so took a really big gamble, $280. I said, versus $800. I was like, forget it. So there's a couple really great videos out there with people using these things, and it just blew my mind. Like the amount of stuff, the tonal expressions you can get out of this. It gets so saucy so quickly. Tonal expressions. So I figured, hey, I'll gamble. $280. I'll gamble. Why not? It's like going to the casino. Showed up, this top left corner of the device was dinged. And what I mean by that was it has a scuff on it. It was poking out of the box when it showed up. I said, oh my God, they didn't even pack this thing correctly. They had it like rotated in a box. So I messaged the guy and I was like, listen, I don't know who the hell packaged this thing, but clearly, I sent a picture, stuff like the corner popping out of the side of the box. A little bit of back and forth. He was more, effectively ticked off at whoever person in his shop, packaged it up. I don't know, maybe an intern or something. I don't know. And refunded me $200. So it's an $800 controller MSRP. Spent $280. He refunded me $200. So it's my $80 Roli Rise R25 controller with a little scuff on it. And everything works. Everything's fine. Everything's great. The battery holds up. If anybody doesn't know, this is plugged in right now via USB just so I can keep the unit charged because I was playing with this a little bit last night. But you can run this completely wirelessly, and that's one of the reasons why I'm running this. This USB is actually connected to a power brick. And I'll get to that issue in a little bit with the iPhone recording and feedback, which is a very interesting bug that I found. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. It's kind of boring. But you can use it completely wirelessly. Set this up in a stand. Connect to your iPhone via Bluetooth or use the USB into your MacBook. There are some glitches here and there where the controller will shut off and disconnect from the iPhone. Of course, if you're doing a live performance, that's probably one of the worst possible situations you could be in. But for the most of the time, it's a pretty dependable controller. And there's a lot of stuff to do when you load up an instrument that's got all 5D touch levels, and you're in it to win it, and you're playing all the notes. You can press into notes. You can release, and there's feedback there. You can slide up onto these bars, these pads on the top and bottom. You can slide notes. You can slide individual notes. You can hit a chord and then slide some of the notes. And then you can bend notes. It's just so different. It's like a membrane. It's a different kind of just instrument. It looks like a piano. It plays like your fingers are like pressing into jelly. It's very interesting, but they do have the notes laid out like a regular standard keyboard. That said, it definitely takes some getting used to. I'm a piano player by heart. I'm familiar with obviously feedback, hammer action, full hammer action, no hammer action. This is like pushing into a memory foam mattress and not getting the feedback back. So it's like a shock absorber. It's like jelly. It doesn't move. It wiggles. It's kind of weird. It's an experience. It's a sensual experience. I guess that's the best way I can put it. It looks like a piano. It sounds like a piano if you wanted to. It does not feel like a piano, other than the fact that you do have the keys protruding off of this rubbery, fleshy. It's like playing on your arm. It's weird. It's like this fleshy membrane. Anyway, going off on a tangent there. So I figured I'd put this together. My buddy Gregg wanted to be like, hey, man. He was like, hey, man, you got the RC-505, right? I'm like, yeah. He goes, you should put something together where you're just messing around because I'm thinking about buying that thing for my line performances. And this guy's got, over 10 grand in Nord keyboards, every single one of the 76 key series, the Electro, yada, yada, yada. Very, very much into it. I don't know how many tens of thousands of dollars of guitars that this guy has, but he wants to use this in his live performances. So I said, cool. I mean, I just got one. I'm like, I'll let you borrow it, blah, blah, blah. So, Gregg, this is mainly for you. So without further ado, this also applies to people that want to use the Roli Noise app on a device like an iPhone or an iPad for a live performance. And I'll get into the issues that you'll run into, at least the issues that I ran into trying to do this. And this is actually a really great test because I'm recording at the same time, so everything's happening live. but you'll see what I mean. But it also comes down to how you want to put together your piece. If you start with drums, if you start with bass, if you start with your lead, you start with blah, blah, blah. You start with vocals. If you just do vocals, you'll have a completely different experience. I read this controller, outside of basically skimming through the user manual, I'm more of just like, set it in front of me, I'll try to figure it out. And if I hit any pain points, if I want to try to do something, then I'll pick up the manual. But if it hits my, if it suits my needs, I'll go through it, get pretty comfortable with it, and then go back to the manual to top it off with and fill in the blanks. But familiarity with me comes in the use of it for the first time. And it looks kind of intimidating. There's dials, there's buttons, there's the edit and undo and redo settings, and there's this blinking tap and tempo thing that just keeps going. You can't turn it off. And then there's like a crappy drum beat machine. There's a whole bunch of stuff. It's like a crazy little circus going on over here, I guess. Then you have input effects. You have output effects. You have a microphone level and an output level, which doesn't work when you're plugged in with USB, by the way, I might add. There's 3 layers on each one of those. There's just a lot. So rather than try to go into every single tiny little intricate feature, I figured, why don't I just kind of mess with it, make terrible beats, terrible songs, stick a whole bunch of stuff together, layer it together, and then kind of see where that goes from, or goes to, or goes somewhere. I don't know. Who knows, right? So, let's see. Yeah. Here we go. All right. Oh. All right. Well, yeah. So, and the other thing is when I'm recording, it will also pick up my voice. So this controller has a really big presence, like the beatbox community. So obviously, if you're recording like this, 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 then it starts looping. Recording like this. So if I'm hitting an instrument, then it starts looping. At the same time, hitting an instrument, then it gets really super confusing. So I have to be mindful to turn off the microphone while I'm recording. So anyway, so it's also going to be a review of the Roli Rise app, because I like to keep my setup super, super simple. The only limitation is the software in terms of synthesized stuff and stacking and layering, and it does a fair job. There's a lot of stuff on here that I wish I had that's just not here, and there's a lot of usability issues that I can get around. It's just that's frustrating. Some of these drum kits are weird. I'll go through some of the EDM ones, some of the just weird ones. I don't know why they exist in here. I guess they're kind of fun to mess around with. I don't know. That's not me to say, I guess. But who knows? It might be your jam and toast. I have no idea. The synthesizer, like the synths, I feel like they are flippin' loud. Let me just say they are absolutely loud. You have to watch your levels of, especially if you're using this as like the USB out to like a Mac, if you're going to do some like post-production or something like that. And even if you're not, if you're going to be running the line out, you have to watch the levels coming out of this thing, because they are unbelievably loud. You do have the basic volume controls on each bank, but you got to have an ear for it, and you got to know when things are getting a little bit too loud. And you'll see what I mean once I start layering stuff. What else before I start noodling with this and not talking a lot? The pads are all right. Again, there's no way in this app to really rearrange how you go between the drums, the bass, the leads, and I think the biggest thing that's missing from here, at least I can't figure out how to do it, is sampling. There's no way to sample your own sounds with this using the iPhone's speaker or something to turn it into a 5D instrument, and I thought that would be kind of cool because at its base, I mean, if you're just playing drums, you know, you're not going to be sliding and bending a bass kick, but they do add some weird some weird stuff you can go down chasms with. You know, every single sample in this is kind of laid out differently. It just be kind of cool to, you know, have like a bass control and then be able to layer your own stuff on, but I guess it doesn't really matter. So, this is the EDM kit. I haven't really made any EDM music. I can't say that that's really my forte, but it is fun to play basic beats with this kind of ensemble. And it's a lot more fun just to create weird stuff out of this. You can really just make weird layered things that get unbelievably complex, and then by the fourth or fifth bank, you're trying to figure out, okay, I made something. Everything's firing off. Where do I go from there? You know? So, I guess we'll... just weird stuff. So, I did a Twitch stream talking about how you can get lost, or not get lost, but it's very difficult to beat match while you effectively try to, you know, layer something onto a channel. What I mean by that is when I first tried this, I thought, boom, I'm gonna hit the record button, find where I'm gonna go on the keyboard, maybe, you know, do a ride or something, you know, and then, you know, hit the record button. You got to be on your game for two reasons. Number one, you got to know the tempo, which means you got to be able to keep a beat internally, or, you know, with your foot in your hand, whatever. And you have to remember how many measures that you make, how many bars you make out of that. So if you go for 1, 2, 3, 4, hit the record button again, 1, 2, 3, 4, bam, bam, bam. You only have that time, those 4 notes on the rest of the banks. As long as I mean, as much as I can tell so far, I can't add more bars after when I record one and set the amount of bars initially. I would assume that they, you know, would put that in there, be able to, like, edit the bars or something. I have no idea. Or, like, stack it or layer it, or I wish there was, like, a copy and paste and you could just loop the whole thing so you can get multiple bars. Because if you're doing, like, a complex bass line that spans multiple bars, you're still limited as it currently sits, and maybe I'll hit back up that manual, but you're limited on the base amount of bars that you set up. So, that said, this is what I mean. So, I'm going to try to put my microphone down so I can talk and play at the same time. Well, I got to watch that because remember, the microphone's going through the unit. So I'm going to start with a basic ride. So this is my tempo, right? This is what I thought would happen. I have all the time in the world, hit the record button, do my thing, stop the record button, and then automatically this thing will figure out, transpose it, stitch it. Not the case. This is what I mean. Watch. There's going to be a huge gap here. See? So the only way to get around that, obviously, is the first note of the beat that you hit, you're on that record button, and the last beat that you want to match has to match your first beat of the first loop. Tempo, where you were, you know, in the beat, and it's kind of a mind screw. I mean, at least for me, because I don't do a lot of looping. So if anybody, you know, there's a whole ton of people that understand that whole concept, but it was kind of difficult to wrap your head around at first glance. So I'm going to stop that because that's getting annoying. It's kind of nice. You can just remove your stuff by holding the stop button for 2 seconds. It just wipes it clear, which is nice. So I'm going to turn off the microphone. I'm going to do a nice little ride loop. But watch, I'll start this and then hit that. So maybe I could try it with one hand. Almost perfect. Because I have the microphone, you can hear the feedback. So let's just. I usually just use two hands. So hang on. It's definitely not perfect. Ooh, I've recorded my voice. Oh, that's another really great thing to know. When that dial goes into yellow, you're in edit mode. You're actually putting stuff on top of what you just recorded, so you have to double tap it. I forgot about that. It's a little bit better. Not perfect, but you get the concept. You got to be on that record button after when you get off of it. So, depending on the drum line that I want to do, which I don't, I suck at drums, and I suck at making beats. It's funny because I have the RC-505, but I wanted to mess with it. I layer the hell out of my my drum setup if I really want to, go crazy. I'm not like one of those guys that are able to like tap with like 5 fingers and create these crazy, intricate beats in real time. I have to layer my stuff. So what's really nice about this is it allows you, obviously being a looper with layers, you can layer what you want or could not, physically do in real time, on top of each other and make a little beat sandwich out of it. So this is what I mean. So, if you wanted to do like a kick. Wait, where's the beat? Something like that. I don't know. Something like that. I don't know. That sound good? It sounds terrible. Ooh. Some little 808 there. The world's most terrible beat I've ever heard in my life. And then this is what I mean about this app, right? So let me turn that down a little bit. So you make your little drum beat, right? Everything's great with the world. There is no real way, there's no real quick way to select a favorite synth or instrument. You got to scroll through this ridiculous list. There's no highlighting, like color highlighting would have been awesome. Nothing. So very difficult. And remember, since I have those 4 banks, that's drums, synth, and like an overdub. I don't even know what that is. I have to switch in between them. It's just kind of cumbersome. Oh, and I should say you can actually play the instruments on the iPhone too, which is kind of cool if you're into that. And remember, every single instrument has 5 ways to bend notes and change it and whatever. So it's just weird. Now, this one doesn't have a feedback, but it does have the slide. And since it's a lead, you can only hit one note at a time. It's kind of cool. It's just weird. Yeah, let's do a stupid little bass line. the world's shittiest bass line ever. What key was that in? Oof. So this is what I mean. You throw this together, that piano's like crazy loud. So now you have to get out of this list. You got to go back to the mixer, which is ridiculous, right? You got to go back to the mixer, and then you got to turn down the piano just because you decided to use the piano that one time. It's a little weird. What is that? So I always find myself like stopping that to concentrate. It is fun. There you go. No, we're not doing saxophone yet. The hell? Isn't that weird? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one. Another good thing to talk about, you can overbend notes on this little membrane like super quick. This is what I mean. Then all of a sudden you're playing, and then you get nothing back, which kind of sucks. So how do they do that all the time? So it completely disconnects for seemingly no reason, right? I'm trying to figure that out. So you got to go back over here. Not connected. It's connected. Super difficult to deal with. That's basically it. All right, so let's throw something totally ridiculous together. How about a trombone? Sounds like a wet fart, doesn't it? That sounds like a wet fart. Excuse you, Tobes. Oh my gosh. Oh, trombone. That's I don't know. Ooh. So that's the other thing. So if you do how can I show that? Maybe I can use, I don't know, with a trombone. Challenge accepted. Let's see. I don't know. What I want to show is the difficulties of trying to mix chords and loop at the same time. It's not like a beat where you're going. You know, that's predictable because you go. Bam, bam, and then that would loop perfectly. If I wanted to go. And then hit that, there's a little bit of overlap that happens, and I can't find how to get rid of it. So, without just saying it, I'll try to replicate it and show you. I don't know if I did it. Let's see. It's not bad, but it presses back into it. I'm trying to figure out how to like do that seamlessly. I don't know what this thing does behind the scenes of if it tries to loop that. I don't know. If anybody knows the answer to that, I'm all ears, totally. So trombones. Yeesh, I don't even know what to do with that. Let's see. What the hell am I going to put? Why did I pick trombones? All right. Oh, shit. Oh, I got a little bass line going on here. All right. This is... All right, let's see what we do. It's not perfect, but I guess we can see what we do. But watch. Yeah, it's not perfect. It's workable. I don't care. I don't know what I'm doing. It's definitely not perfect. Trying to throw drums on that is crazy difficult. I have to totally redo that. That timing is terrible. But I was gonna do something. It sounded fun. All right, what do they have? Again, and this is what I mean, like going back through this whole thing. I gotta find my trombone again. Terrible. I just want to play my trombone. There we go. All right. Let's see. What do they do? Yeah. All right, let's see what we got. I don't know if this is going to work. A little bit better. So that timing is all messed up. That is crazy, crazy, crazy difficult to pull off. At least for me. That's the beat I wanted. And if throwing that on and that was just brutal. So that's what I was saying like before. I usually start with my beat and then I'll layer everything on top of it. So it just makes it a little bit more difficult. Yeah, I don't know. I could try again. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work. That's the snare I wanted. That's super difficult. All right, I'm going to start with the basic snare, I think, to get my brain on the same page as my hands. And again, it comes down to that whole timing thing. You got to keep in your mind how many bars you have, and then remember where you caught that first note. It's my first looper, so I don't, it's very difficult for me to do that, I guess. All right, so we got our little snare. Trombone, huh? I don't know. A really good example of everything else is super loud and then this is super quiet. And there's no real way other than backing out of the synth, going back into the, and this is actually already maxed out. No real way, Tobes. I don't know what to tell you, man. What do you think? You don't like it? Neither do I. Let's do it again. Got a little lost there. Totally got a little lost there. That was crazy. That was crazy. I even put Toby to sleep. Look, he's sleeping. Tubes. Right over there. It's cool. What else? I don't know. What else do we got here? I don't know. That was definitely different. Let's see. I'm gonna have that like little D down beat, whatever I want to call that, like stuck in my head. It's crazy. So that's the beginning of the RC-505, at least for me. This, hang on, this is giving me some gas here. Ooh, oh, don't want to do that. Crazy town. There we go. Let's see. Yata yata yata. Oh man, that's pretty cool though. Do 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 do. That was a really cool little progression. To an A. I love D though. That hey, there it is. That was awesome. Toby, come on, laugh at my jokes, man. That was awesome. Come on. No, the scale of D is awesome. I love that bending. In fact, ooh, getting all moody. So, like, you learn how to play the piano, right? You don't really learn to slide notes when you're hitting a chord. So sometimes I actually play the chord completely different than I normally would, like on the piano. Like if I hit a D, right? If I want to, well, I guess that's a terrible example. It's mainly only when you're using your pinky, because sometimes I'll use my fourth if it gives me better action, like on my triads. But if I'm going to slide something, it's just different. It's a totally different instrument. I don't think I'm done with that instrument though. That is a fun, just melancholy, just drifting weird. Man, that is a lot of fun, I have to say. See what we got here. Do 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 do. Cool. All right. He. So, what else did I want to go to? Oh, there's like multiple parts of this that I do want to go over. I'm going to send out a link to my buddies. My buddies, if they're bored buddies. What else? Yes and no. That I don't know. That's a really great question. He's asking if... No, I think it's just limited to 4 bars. Or 4... Yeah. Yeah, it's just... Oh, no, you're right. There's a master volume on the bottom. That's right. Yep. No, I don't know why I don't have them all maxed out, I'll be honest with you. I guess it doesn't make any sense because if you're running this thing off of USB, it's going to max out the volume anyway. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's the RC-505. The iPhone should be, yes. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Cool. I don't know. We can try doing something else. This drum kit is just hilarious. I think there's a Santa Claus in it. There he is. So we could try that if you want, man. But I can go over. I suck at this for the record. This is just bad. If you couldn't tell by my dog sleeping next to me, I'm not really, the next, I don't know. Neil Peart. Neil Peart dropping fat beats, yo. No, it's just I suck at it, So, I'm here to answer any questions. I know you want to use this thing live, so I don't know. We can just we can make some magic happen. You know what I mean? But that was pretty cool. So, so the other thing about this app, right? Like I said before, it's inherently problematic when you're trying to switch between. I just got completely out of the application. I definitely didn't want to do that. Like drums, bass, lead, you get your vocals, it's cute, it's fun, it's happy, whatever. But trying to find favorited instruments, I can't even imagine doing this thing live. You know what I mean? Here's my list real quick. Let me go skim for it. You know what I mean? That's just the synths. That's not even the drum kits. There's a whole silliness with these whole drums, and they're not natural drums either. They're all this weird shit like. Who the fuck needs a Santa Claus? You know what I mean? I mean, jingle bells and a tambourine. I mean, I get it, but are you kidding me? I don't know. It's just they bundle it with just weird shit. So, whatever. I guess we'll just stick something together. No, that last one with the trombone was hilarious. That was pretty cool. Yeah, and that melancholic. It's just this juicy, just this weird, dreamy thing. And that sample is just, you can get lost playing that shit. Totally lost. I don't know. Ooh. It's like playing a lap steel. And then, of course, you got the bending on the top. But like I said before, the fact that you can hit a triad and then only bend the notes of the triad that you want. So I can go. Very indicative, like you would know, you would feel like on the natural guitar or something. Just weird, getting weird. Let's do that with the trombone again. That was a lot of fun. It's fun. It's funny because, yeah, man. Dude, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, getting weird. Throw some trombone, throw some wet fart on that. Yeah. Ooh, hey. Ooh, too low. All right, I don't know. Yeah, let's just stick something. I have to keep muting my microphone because it'll pick up on the recording. So let's just try to throw something together. Oh, before I do that, let me... Shit. Fat beats, yo. Let's drop the fatness of the beats. just, like I said, some of these drum kits just weird, I'll do a test where I'm just layering a bunch of shit, and you'll see the chasms you can go down. You build this monstrosity, and you're like, how did I get here? What the hell? All right. Let's just start with a snare. Let's start basic, all right? And my timing sucks, by the way, okay? So hang on. I don't know if I got that. Maybe. I have to see. I have to listen to that one of the loops. Ooh. That's a kick drum if I've ever heard one before. Ooh. Starting with a snare without the bass to begin with is a trip. I don't know if I like that. Oof. I don't know, man. Let's just start with a snare. Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, screw it. We're doing it. We're doing it live. Ooh. Someone's hitting me up on the old Google Hangouts. Yeah, man. So, I don't know. All right. Yeah, let's get some. All right, trombone. All right. I got it. This is going to be the most dankest thing you've ever heard with a fucking trombone in it. And Greg, this is what I was talking about. So if you don't match that, if you're not holding it while you hit the record button, you'll hear the gap. Listen. Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. This whole thing, like, you have to, like, really piss with this thing to get it to any point where you're comfortable with. Throw some fat bass on that slab of bacon. I'll go to a D, G to an A. That's pretty typical for shitty songs. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm fucking feeling this. I'm feeling this down in my loins. This is crazy. So this is the other problem with using this app. Let me just turn that sweetness down. But let me keep my bass on, because that's yeah. I'm gonna keep my bass on while I talk. So so when you're pissing with this app, like I just was, and I'm scrolling up and down frantically trying to find the next synth that I favorited, I accidentally hit this tiny little stupid favorite heart, and now it's gone. So I have to go all the way back. Jesus. I have to go... Oh, wait, not all the way back. It's in the main list. See? And I want that guy. So you got to be... If you're using this on the iPad, I don't know if the... I don't know. The layout is better. I would hope so. But anyway, bring that fat beat back. AKA the guy with the snare drum in the corner drooling on himself. And no, I don't know if you can layer that, by the way. I don't know. throw some D minor 7 sauce on that bitch. Oh. I don't know. I mean, you can, like I said, you can get lost in this shit. You start layering crap. It's like a crap sandwich. It's like a crap chasm, if you will. So I'm in like A major. You can hang it, or go to the G. I'll go back to the D. I don't know, dude. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know. So anyway, you get kind of lost with it. But then the really cool thing, if you're doing something live, you can mix things, you can turn things off, and then you can do solos, you go back to it, layer it, keep going, and then all of a sudden you get this fucking huge thing. All right, I'll keep going. Hang on. Yeah, that was a little bit too serious, I think. I need something like ridiculous, but I think you get the point. Like, so you can layer stuff, right? But you also have to remember how many measures you have, how many bars you have, and then obviously, I mean, the tempo is straightforward if you have, or if you know tempo or whatever. So, yeah, I can go over those drums real quick. Hang on. So if you're doing something live, the kind of the pain in the ass is you have to keep resetting the banks. So when you get yours, I don't know if there's an override for this, but you have to hold it for 2 seconds. I don't know. It's kind of a pain in the ass when you screw something up. They have this undo chasm, which I can show you if you want. It's kind of cool. So if you're double layering or triple or octuple layering something on the same bank, you can keep undoing it. And the crazy part about it is just trying to keep track of all the shit that's going on over there. Yeah, let me just drop a fat. I keep saying this. Drop a fat beat. Look at my dogs. They're like, Dad, you're a fucking lunatic, right? Oh, I don't know, man. I suck at this shit. I don't know. What the fuck do you want to hear? I don't know. You're the drummer, man.
People.
I don't know. I don't know. All right, so there's oh crap. What do we got? Ooh, we got some keys in there. Let's fuck with that one. I don't know. You want to hear something fucking ridiculous? All right, so I did this last night, and I'm still not good at it. But you can just layer and layer and layer and layer and layer to the point where it's fucking crazy. So without making too much sense or trying to make sense, I'm just gonna start sticking a bunch of shit on here, a bunch of crap that doesn't make any sense, and I'll do like 4 bars. I'll do a 3-bar beat. Try to do 3. No, I'll do 2. I'll try to keep it semi-cohesive. And then what I'll try to do is I'll go back. I'll edit something. I'll show you how to edit something. And then go back and then add another bar on top of it. Does that sound good? Cool. All right. Yeah. I don't know. Fuck it. Like I said, I'm not good at making beats. All right. I don't know. All right. Fuck it. And yeah, don't ask me about those samples that are in here. I have no fucking idea why they're in there. And no, it doesn't. It doesn't include that. No, this is some stupid thing that they had on their little store. It was like $4. I don't know. It's got an 808 kick. Basically, I'm famous. Done. Ship it. Sell the albums. It's so stupid. Why would you ever fucking put that in there? What's the... I don't know. All right, let's just start it. I don't think I fucked that up, but we'll see. This is what I'm talking about. You start losing... Oh, so I fucked that up. My keyboard, for whatever reason, I couldn't hit my snare. So I'll show you the undo. But this is what I'm talking about. There's no visual indication of what bar you're on. So it's completely up to you to remember that. So I want to undo that. Yeah, I missed that snare, so it sounds like shit. So undo. That little thing starts blinking. You can't see it in the real video. Undo. Hit the undo button. We're back to the snare. I thought that was kind of cool. Wow, I actually didn't fuck that up. So that was the edit. Let's see what we got. No, they don't include that. No. Another good thing to know about this, if you want a clear check, you have to wait for the damn thing to loop. It sucks. I don't know, it's just some like shitty bass that they have on there. I have no idea. I don't know. You want to get some fucking sexiness with a saxophone? I think this is in C7. No, it's in C. Yeah. I don't know. You can add something on this, I'm sure. I don't know if that makes any sense. So we'll do a G to an E. So that's a great question. I can't add another bar. Yeah, so that's a really great question actually. If I think I can. Oh shit, man! I don't know, man. Your best is your best. Your guess is better than mine. No. No, it doesn't. No, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, here, I'll stop this trash beat. So yeah, so that great question on that. So yeah, the 5D touch, it's really weird to get used to. First of all, I'm happy you're getting the 49 key because I feel like I need both hands. Heyo. And I constantly am hitting the octave button over here. It's confusing. But the 5D with the saxophone, I think, is the best instrument to piss with. So it doesn't have obviously the release like a saxophone would, but like the tremolo, it screams when you slide. You can slide into different keys. I mean. It's just like I'm like fucking Kenny G over here. You know what I mean? No, it's fun. I don't know. We'll start something different. We'll just start layering Maybe I can I keep this beat? That's fine. All right, so there's like this. Let me turn that down so you can hear me. So there's this really weird one where it's just like nothing but chimes, and it immediately starts. It makes you feel like you're on acid once you start looping this crap together. Is it this? No, it wasn't that one. Oh. Ooh. I don't know. I'm just gonna pick something, dude. Gotta start layering. You want? All right, fine. Fuck it. I'll do another one. That's fine. Oh. The other thing with this is sometimes the Bluetooth with the phone just gets a little weird. Yeah, see? And they have different effects like if you slide stuff. Let's try. Yeah, something like that. Fun, right? Yeah. Well, I mean, I used the same key that I was in before, but I mean, you can basically do anything you want. But the second you make that beat, it just kind of flows in. But like I said, I wish that they had some sort of a better control of, finding out the instruments and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, totally. You kidding me? Yeah. There was a lot of that. So cool. Yeah. What else do you want me to? Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, if you want to get together and I can show you, the basic whole thing. That's cool. Fun. Yeah, it's a fun setup, so. Yeah, I'll keep doing it if you want to join up and watch the old fat beat dropping. Yeah, man. Cool. Not a problem. Oh yeah, you could. Yeah, there's a whole thing you can start doing with. Yes. Yeah, beatboxers use this all the time, and I'm not going to beatbox because that's ridiculous. I should. Let me just say, I don't think that beatboxing is ridiculous. I can't do it, and if I tried, it would be ridiculous. Yeah. Cool. All right, I think that's it. Peace. It was real, and my dogs say hi. See ya.